My name is Shaheen. People know me as your friendly neighborhood Persian rapper. I'm an Iranian-American rapper based out of Los Angeles. And My music and my art is very inspired by the movements that are happening in Iran, that have been happening in Iran for so many years. And not just that, but the culture, the history of Iran that is as ancient as 5,000 years old, right? So I draw a lot of inspiration from Persian culture. Um, and right now, like my focus is because of what's happening in Iran right now, is just to amplify the voices and bring awareness to what's happening in my motherland. I mean, they're chaotic, and I mean, people are angry. People have been oppressed for 47 years under a regime in Iran that is very anti-Iranian. They have robbed us of our culture. They have oppressed the people. They have killed tens of thousands, if not way, actually, no, way more than that. I'm sorry, like that number doesn't do it justice. But there are no rights there. You have no freedom there. There's a lot of gender apartheid that goes on there, right? So people after 47 years, like they've gotten tired, and now with how low the currency has gotten, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of like the straw that broke people's back. Yeah, Nation on Fire. I put that song out in July. That came out shortly after the the 12-day war between Iran and Israel, or I should say the Islamic Republic and Israel, right? So obviously, like if you're Iranian and you've experienced, like it was a very painful time, and it was very conflicting because on one hand, you have these Israeli jets that are coming in, dropping bombs, and they're killing our oppressors. At the same time, there are innocent people that are dying as well. And if you're an Iranian in the diaspora, you feel very conflicted because you don't know whether you should celebrate or grieve when the missiles drop. And that's what I talk about, right? Because we don't want the bombs, right? Like we don't want our people to get hurt. At the same time, when we see bad people who have been oppressing us getting killed, you can't help but to feel some weird sense of joy. So I kind of wanted to capture that conflicting feeling in that song. I would like to see just more people come out and have them continue. I can't like I live comfortably in the United States. So I cannot sit here and tell people in Iran like what I think they need to do, because like it's easy for me to say while I'm out here in LA while they're out there risking their lives, right? So it's hard for me to say like what they need the most. I will say this, what they need the most is for the international community to give them attention, to support the people, because I feel like more than a lot of the times when Iranians come out and they try to take their country back, the rest of the world will ignore them, right? And I don't know why that's unique to Iran, because when Palestine was getting bombed by Israel, everyone was pro-Palestine all of a sudden, right? There are many movements around the world that gets recognition by the international progressive community, especially. But when Iranians try to take their country back, I feel like we get ignored. So I think that by bringing more attention to what's happening in Iran, that would really help the people. I remember a couple years ago, I was in contact with someone, and during the woman life freedom movement, and her friend, which she was one of the people who was not like, she took her hijab off, and she decided to just eat breakfast, right? She went to a restaurant and she ordered breakfast, and she got arrested for it. They took a picture of her eating breakfast, and it was reported to the government, and like they arrested her for the crime of eating breakfast without a scarf on your head. Like, can you imagine like how crazy that is? And her friend reached out to me and asked me to amplify that story, right? And I just remembered like how chilling that felt, right? Like um because this time I was kind of brought into it, and I just felt like I had to, you know what I mean? It was like I felt like a sense of responsibility at that time. And I mean, but there have been other stories that have just shattered me, right? Like for example, there was a 16-year-old girl named Nika. Nika she wanted to be a singer, and there was a video of her like outside. She had a microphone in hand, and she was singing like this very old classic Iranian song. And when she started to participate in the Woman Life Freedom protest, um, those savages killed her. They raped her and they threw her off a building, and the government claimed that it was suicide. That, oh, they didn't arrest her, they was, oh, she just so this is a very common occurrence, unfortunately. And I remember that one really broke me. There was a story of a guy, he was 23 years old, he protested, they put him in jail, they accused him of killing someone, which there was no evidence of. They do this to scare people. They hung him, and what's sad was he thought he was going to be released, and he was sharing with his cellmate that he just bought a PlayStation 5 and he was excited for the new God of War game to come out, right? And he was excited to go home and go home from prison and play it. And he just woke up the next day and they hung him. So, when I hear stories like that, um, it really breaks me. This is a movement about an indigenous people trying to take their country back, taking their culture back. We are fighting an occupying regime. We are fighting for, this is a progressive movement. We are fighting for women's rights. We are fighting for, quite frankly, LGBTQ rights. If you are caught as a gay person in Iran and they can accuse you of sodomy, they will hang you. That's punishable by death in Iran. So, I want all the progressive movements out there to realize that, like, this is your movement. We need you as allies. I want the world to understand that a free Iran means a peaceful Middle East, because the Islamic Republic causes a lot of chaos in the Middle East. They destabilize the Middle East and a lot of the world. You get rid of them, replace them by a leader that actually is Iranian and cares about its people and is proud of their Iranian culture. I think that the world will benefit from that.